Stephanie. It's a pleasure to have you on with us today. How are you?
And how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good.
So we wanted to learn a little bit about your story with cardiomyopathy and how you were genetically tested and so forth. But if you could start by, for those of us who don't know your story, if you could tell us just a little bit about, how you found out you have cardiomyopathy and what kind you have and so forth.
Yes, I found out when I was 15 years old. I was trying out for the tennis team and I couldn't run the laps like all the other kids. So they sent me up to the nurse and she heard something. So I ended up going to a cardiologist and they diagnosed me with dilated cardiomyopathy. They thought it was from my braces because back then they thought it was all viral. Um, And so I had my braces taken off and um, I was still pretty sick. The thing they had at the time was digoxin. So they put me on that and gave me 5 years to live. Well, I'm still here. I'm 55 years old and I've had 3 children, 2 of which have dilated cardiomyopathy and were pretty sick. So in 2012, they decided to genetically test me, and I came back with the MYH7 mutation. So they tested the 2 girls, and they have the same mutation. So they thought that if they put the girls on the same medicine I was on, because by then beta blockers and ACE inhibitors and everything came out, that hopefully they would do as well as I did. And they did. So the 2 girls, one's 35 and one's 28. So I think that getting the decision to get genetically tested, I think was a positive thing because then the doctors could treat us as a whole and see if that would make any of us better. And it has.
One of your daughters in particular was very sick when she was young and had a very, very low ejection fraction prior to being treated, correct?
Correct. My youngest daughter had 9%. And that's kind of when she was in the hospital for months. And then back then they couldn't figure out how to give her medicine. So we had to drip it in her mouth because it was too strong going through the IV. And she did pretty good. And when we came home, she had about 15%. And then she still only has like 30%, if that, but she's doing good. She's really doing good. She works full time and adopting a baby. So we're looking forward to that. So the lowest I ever got was 23%. And I stayed there for a while. That was after I had my 3rd child. They never told me I shouldn't have had children because they didn't know back then. But and then as the medicine came out, like, the Entrestos and all that stuff, they put me on it. And that has done wonders for me. And also my 2 girls are on it also. The decision I made to get everyone genetically tested, I think was the best decision I made because it has saved myself and my children, and we are being treated as a whole. And I think it has really helped.
So thank you so much for being on today, and all the best to you and your family and your new expected grandbaby.
Thank you.